All right, so that's what it was. I also wanted to show you the holes on one side of the Model 3 that we have, but not the other. I'm not sure how it may occur. I therefore believe that your critiques were valid. Yes, that makes sense. And now I have a query. We had been driving around a lot when all of a sudden we discovered that we have a sticker on the side of the car that reads, "My normal life," and others are approaching us to show us their cars and share stories with us about their experiences driving Teslas and other things. These boys are genuinely engrossed in this activity, regardless of the 8 or 6-year-old child who asks, "Hey, mister, are you Sandy Munro?" And people are aware of it and have a strong interest in Tesla. We do, however, occasionally encounter a few minor issues with our car for unknown reasons. Then I spot another vehicle, and it has an impeccable build. Any form of feedback, answer, or anything else from that, if I had that, would be very appreciated. Indeed, whenever someone inquires, we advise them to adopt a fresh start strategy. Sometimes it's not as successful to try to shoehorn or compress EV inside ICE. We are now working on 4 cars, which make up the majority of the cars we handle, and each of those 4 is a completely unique design. Reversing course doesn't actually. Let's just imagine that you have this elegant Model 3 in front of you and are prepared to take a look. But hold on, what's the first response? It appears to be a mixed bag. At first you're like, what in the world? The paint finish isn't doing the gaps justice. They can see them. But wait a minute, let's change our attention. What matters most in this situation? Yes, the electronics, the drivetrain, everything. People, it appears that they are far ahead of the game. Sandy Munro even made the observation that while the others are trapped in slow motion, Tesla is going at the speed of thought. We'll demonstrate how and why the price of Tesla stock will hit $2,000 in this video. Please remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel before we continue. Let's get started, and welcome to Tesla Stock News. Do you intend to purchase any Tesla stock? It's like striking gold, and you can participate for less than $30. It's that good. However, be aware that our inventory is selling out quickly. So go back a little while. When did you first learn about Tesla, if you recall? A few people dismissed it with the thought, hey, we've seen electric vehicles before. But when the Model 3 arrived, things really started to shift. All of a sudden, this is a mass-market vehicle rather than just an expensive one for the wealthy. Go right ahead to the point of dismantling. This Model 3 is in front of you. How does it feel? Let down, my companions. I mean, really, this is what all the buzz is about. However, as they say, don't judge a book by its cover. Things started to get fascinating as they probed further. There are spaces in your work that a vehicle could fit through. Hey, look past the obvious. When they got into the details, it was a whole different story. That's when the enchantment transpired. Our specialist, Sandy Munro, is an amazing electronics engineer, so much so that he was overcome with amazement when he looked at the inverter. He was almost astounded at the degree of efficiency and detail in its design. Indeed, there are fit and finish problems, gaps that are visible from a great distance, and let's not even talk about the paint job. Let's focus instead on the components that really count: the software, electronics, communication systems, and powertrain. They have around 10 years or more of lead over the competition. It's evidence of Tesla's progressive mindset. Let's now discuss the experience of driving. Munro highlights the transformational effect, particularly when operating automatically. It's like having a mobile personal assistant. But the entire ownership experience is important. It goes beyond simply driving. Conventional automakers generate a lot of money from maintenance and servicing. Thus, they mostly rely on dealership models. With a vehicle that needs little to no maintenance, Tesla completely reverses that narrative. Munro has never been fond of dealerships, to put it mildly. He talks about how the dealership process left him feeling disillusioned, especially when he bought a Ford Pinto. There was a bitter aftertaste from the dealership's contemptuous attitude and ongoing maintenance requirements. It makes sense, therefore, when he advises selling shoes instead. After all, oil changes are not necessary for shoes. Munro shifts the focus to manufacturing and emphasizes Tesla's enormous influence. Consider the castings for Giga. While traditional automakers were reluctant to adopt them, Monroe had been aware of them for decades. It serves as a sobering reminder of how reluctant the sector is to change. However, Tesla's strategy pushes limits and redefines manufacturing norms in order to challenge the current quo. Let us not overlook Elon Musk's forward-thinking perspective. Monroe remembers criticizing Tesla's rear-end layout, which prompted Musk to consider a single-piece option. This brought die-casting technology new life through collaborations with businesses like Costamp in Italy. This is an example of Tesla's unwavering belief in innovation. But do you realize this? Seeking Alpha is another group that shares this pro-Tesla sentiment. They're actively following Tesla's incredible rise. They're not simply spectators. Seeking Alpha is an extensive resource for individuals who are optimistic about Tesla and keen to discover the next big thing in the industry. Seeking Alpha is a leading online pro-Tesla news source, including everything from stock price forecasts to innovations, Elon Musk's enterprises, and performance updates on Tesla. Get factual information instead of the negative noise from conventional outlets. Get a special discount by clicking the link in the description. It's evident that the automobile industry is going through a massive change. All of it comes down to those enormous castings, fronts, rears, and even battery boxes, which are made all at once. Why? Because, to put it simply, it is affordable. Our expert, Sandy Munro, clarifies the procedure. Imagine this, that enormous mold being filled in less than a second with the push of a button. In contrast, traditional stamping techniques require significantly more time for each part. Consider this: conventional automakers must work 3 shifts to meet the demand for stamped parts because they are trapped in the past. Tesla is currently traveling at 40 seconds per part. The distinction is enormous. You're cutting taxes, utility bills, and floor space with die castings. It's revolutionary. However, why are the established automakers resisting? To put it simply, they are set in their ways and adhere to antiquated tools and viewpoints. We've always done it this way, is the situation, but things are starting to change as Tesla is demonstrating the advantages of its innovative philosophy. Traditional automakers have begun to pay attention. They're starting to see that trying to stay in the past won't work in a field that is always changing. They are gradually realizing how important it is to innovate, adapt, and welcome change. Munro doesn't hold back when he attacks the idea of coming in second in this competitive field. Being a trailblazer is paramount. Tesla understands they outpace their competitors by moving at the speed of thought. To be honest, nobody can recall who finished in second place. Although painful, this reality is essential. Let's now discuss Tesla's development. Munro has seen it firsthand, having critiqued the rear end of the Model 3 and witnessed the sleek design of the Model Y. There is no denying the development. Not only is Tesla pushing the envelope, but they are redefining it. Their rate of innovation is unmatched in speed. Old-school automakers, to put it mildly, they have some catching up to do. So, how does all of this affect the price of Tesla's stock? It's actually quite easy. With its continued innovation, disruption, and exceeding of expectations, Tesla's stock price may reach an astounding $2,000 or higher due to the expectation of future growth. Investors may anticipate substantial income streams in the future due to Tesla's aggressive intentions to enter new areas like energy storage and autonomous driving. The expectation of further expansion may pique investor interest and raise the price of Tesla's shares. Without a doubt, this makes the $2,000 level price extremely attainable. Let's take a look at the situation that legacy OEMs in the automobile sector are currently facing. Do they really seem to be getting better? Munro, however, says that the prognosis is anything but optimistic. Although these established titans are making an effort to change course and adjust to the new environment, their actions seem like trying to steer the Titanic clear of an approaching iceberg, a laborious, tedious process full with difficulties. Time is of the importance, and the clock is ticking despite their best efforts. In a race where Tesla constantly sets new benchmarks, raises the bar, and leaves competitors in awe of its unrelenting innovation and forward momentum, legacy OEMs find themselves playing catch-up. The capacity for quick innovation and adaptation is essential in this quickly changing industry. For legacy OEMs to stay competitive and relevant in the market, they need to go through a significant metamorphosis. The issue yet stands. Will they accept change and rise to the occasion? Or are they going to take the chance of falling behind as Tesla keeps setting the standard for automotive innovation in the future? Time will tell. Here's a small insider advice as well. Those limited edition Tesla vehicles shouldn't be overlooked. They are investments rather than merely collectibles. Let's now concentrate on businesses that aren't trying to catch up. Consider Aptera as an example. Their product is ready to go on the road almost flawlessly from the start. It's the making of an unquestionable success story. Finally, there is Rivian. Their creative approach has caused a stir in the automotive sector. Yes, they have seen ups and downs, but they are making the required changes to provide a vehicle that is inexpensive without sacrificing quality. Let's now discuss the dual motor system used by Rivian. This isn't your typical setup. Instead of depending on external parts, it was created inside. The worst part is that, even with only two motors, it has a punch that is on par with that of its quad-motor version. That results in significant cost savings without compromising functionality. With the F-150 Lightning, Ford is making waves with the old guard. It's unquestionably the greatest work vehicle available. It's not aiming to be a Cybertruck or a Rivian. And let's face it, I have no idea why anyone thought it was a good idea to bring back the Hummer. Meanwhile, it appears that customers aren't interested in breaking down luxury cars, thus the Silverado and Cadillac are still uncharted ground for teardowns. Lastly, there's the Mach-E Mustang. It is forging its own route and providing a substitute for Tesla for anyone looking for something distinct. Plus, it's becoming more popular with consumers at a more reasonable price range. The conversation today has illuminated the constantly changing automotive market, with Tesla at the forefront of disruptive technologies and innovation. From seeking Alpha's pro-Tesla sentiment to Sandy Munro's observations on the company's manufacturing skills, it's evident that Tesla's trajectory is one to follow. But what does this mean for us now? Are established manufacturers really ready to change course and fight in this modern era? What about investors, then? Should they answer the call to action and take advantage of the chances brought forth by Tesla's incredible rise? Post your thoughts in the space provided for comments below. Check out Tesla stock news for the most recent information, analysis, and insights on Tesla and its stock performance. We appreciate your time and hope to see you in our upcoming videos.